record. Okay. All right. So we're recording. That's fine. I hope she'll be able to come, but if not, she has two twin girls that are younger than Marianne. And she works full time. You know the gig.
I know. Yep.
You know. So, all right. So I'm going to I'll lay out the cat one first, actually, to show you. So the consistent pieces. So when you're making a sampler, the goal is to have the back piece is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So then you have 9 of those kind of blocks. So I made my centerpiece a picture of Boo, of course. And so you have 9 of these back pieces to do this. And so I'm hoping that you'll print and frame a little picture of your critter. I made the border on this one really tight. So I went ahead and did like 3 3/8, like when I trimmed the photo. So it's really tight on there. And I think it looks cute. It helps that was red in the photo too. But I just printed this like on my home printer. I mean, it doesn't have to be like super fancy, and then this piece is consistent between the two of you as well. So you have a piece of paper that's been die cut with the little paw prints, and that's part of the die set from this suite, which is really cute. And then you have a piece of red that you'll glue behind there, but it's all just glued down flat, nothing super fancy. Now, I saved the little hearts from here because we're going to use those hearts in another piece. So you'll see there's a lot of little tiny pieces in your packet.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So those are the first 2 pieces, and those were the same for both kits. So then we had a cat version, purr, and a dog version, love. I could have done woof, I guess. But I did purr and love. So this piece is simply, you've got your designer series paper, and then I've put this gray strip, which I've given you, and then just glued the letters down, wrapped the ribbon around. Now you've got a full roll of this ribbon. It's really nice. It ties nice bows. It's really easy to play with. I actually really like it. And it's carrying over to the new catalog, which is great. Both of them are. And you'll see why. We really like them. Like the statement of demonstrators and customers have used it a lot on a lot of projects. It lays flat, it ties nice bows. The twine doesn't roll like some of our other twines do. It's got a heft to it, the black and white twine. And so it ties nice bows. It lays well. It's not like I've got this twine on my desk, and it's not like this cheapy twine, right? Like it's a really nice kind of waxed twine. So what we'll do is because I didn't want to make decisions for you guys about how to cut your paper. But the easiest thing to do is just to take your stack of paper and trim off 3 inches at the bottom. These are all 3-inch pieces that go on these other pieces. So you'll trim a 3 by 3 off the bottom. It'll still give you tons of paper to play with. And you have 6 sheets, and you'll still have plenty to make card fronts and, do whatever you want. A few of them we're going to trim a cat or dog out of. So like this one, we end up, and this one I trimmed a dog out of. But the easiest thing to do is just to go ahead, use your paper trimmer and trim off on the bottom of your piece. Just go ahead and trim off a 3 by 3 of each sheet. And if you wanted to trim off a 3 by 3, I think you need to trim off 2 3 by 3s. So just zip it, at 3 and then at 3. And that'll help you to build all the other pieces. But I don't know. I don't like cutting people's designer series paper. I'll make you do that.
Thank you. That's great.
just in case you decide like, no, I don't want to do that. But it's very cute paper, and I definitely, I really enjoyed it. So that's the hair. It looks like fur. So that's the fur piece. And then the next one I had a cat version. So there's a kitty cat with a heart, or there's a doggy with a heart. So we've got the doggy or the kitty. And this cat paper behind it, it's cat themed, right? It says like purr, meow, jump,
Aw.
yawn, snooze. And the doggy paper says woof, bark, dig, chase, love, scratch, play, So very, the paper's really cute. And really, they did equal justice. They very much split the pack in half and did half for cats and half for dogs.
That's great.
I know. No one got preferential treatment. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So this, again, I just glued this down flat, and then I just popped the little heart up on dimensionals. So again, because you're going to put this in a frame, you want to keep it pretty flat. Now, I do use a frame that is made for framing scrapbook pages. So it has like a riser in it. It has like it's a riser. Basically, it's, a wooden insert that goes along the edges that gives a little bit of space so it doesn't completely squish it down. But I have framed this stuff just in a normal frame, and it's been fine. So there's usually enough give that I don't feel like it makes a big difference. So, okay. So then the next one that I had both a kitty and a doggy version. So you'll end up cutting a piece of the paper, and you'll have some cute kitties and some cute doggies. And you can kind of decide, which piece you like and which dogs you want to, feature. And then I included some of the enamel hearts in your packet, way more than you need, because I had a lot of them and they are retiring. And so I was like, well, we're going to get rid of those.
Well, thank you.
Yes. And they're very cute, and I like them a lot. One reason I like them is they're actually quite flat. And so they ship well. They were part of the snail suite from the spring. They're called resin heart embellishments. And because they're so flat, they're easy to like put on a card and stick in the mail, and you're not going to, it's not going to rip the envelope or anything. So I like them. I think they're cute. And I know I've had a lot of fun with them. So okay. And then we start to venture and stray. So let me get okay, here we go. So so the kitty and the doggy versions are quite different. The kitty is the grumpy cat, which I love and think is funny. And so I sent Stephanie some pearls so that she could give her kitty a little pearl necktie. It has a bow on it, but I think with the pearls, it just looks adorable. And then for this dog, I grew up with schnauzers, so this one's it's cute for me. But I went ahead and I just, cut around him, and then I put a little bit of that ribbon and put that little trinket on there. And I just, glued it on the back. And then this is all still glued down flat though. So everything's flat, and that has a little bit of bulk, but it's not the end of the world. So, so there's that one.
I love that.
And then this one is like, I don't know, the little snacks. So the kitty one says love, and the puppy one says happy. And this is our velveteen paper, which is so soft. And and we have it in 3 colors. So it's one pack that has 3 colors. It's like soft sea foam, Highland heather, and cinnamon cider. It was an interesting combo pack. I know. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it. And then I've been using it in every class now that I've now I'm like, oh,
it feels so good.
I know. It's so nice. And I don't think it was expensive. I looked it up, and I don't remember it being, I was like, oh, and a little goes a long way. So I thought that was really cute.
Will it be available in the new catalog?
It is not available in the new catalog.
Darn.
I know, from what I remember. That was one of
Okay.
those things. And if there's anything that you want me to add to your order, like if you're like, hey, I don't want to put a whole order in, but could you grab me a pack of whatever before it retires? I'm comfortable. Like I'm fine doing that. Like, because they didn't bring this over and I was really sad about that. They are bringing some of the specialty papers over.
Mhm.
Um, like there's some mercury glass that they're bringing over, and then there's this really pretty rainbow glimmer paper that they're bringing over, and the pearlescent specialty paper they're bringing over, which is good. A lot of times we lose a lot of those, so I was happy they brought a big chunk of them over, but that one they're not. So
Oh, that's too bad.
um,
I
I
guess
know.
I can order that before it goes away.
I know. I was trying to see which catalog it was in to see. Oh, let me see. I kind of want to say it was in maybe it was in this catalog. I couldn't remember if it was in last year's annual or if it was in the fall catalog and it carried over. Let me see. I like it. It's really soft, and I
Mhm.
didn't think it would be a paper. Like I was like, oh, I get it. I thought I would just get it to experiment.
I like
Um,
I like the contrast, that it has texture, but it's like it's not shiny. It's like a matte finish, but still it's fuzzy, but has a little bit of thickness, so it adds a little bit of dimension.
yeah,
I like that.
I do too. I really enjoyed it. It's not in that catalog. Well, actually, I don't see any of the specialty papers in this catalog, so it could be that I'm like flipping past it. Um, I was definitely surprised how much I enjoyed playing with it. Oh, it is in here. Okay. Yeah, it's
What
in that.
page?
It's
What
on
page
page
is it on?
153 in last
153.
year's.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And you can cut it with punches or dies. I run it through, this is through the die machine. I don't know. I like it. And the purple was really pretty and the soft seafoam is really pretty. I haven't used the seafoam. I think I'm using it this month
Mhm.
in class. Yeah, I'm using it this month in my class later. So
If you punch it, do you punch it on the fuzzy side or the flat side, the back
I
side?
would punch it on the backside.
Okay.
I would punch on the backside unless it created issues like it flipped your cat around or something,
Uh-huh.
like
Okay.
I haven't
Okay.
tried I haven't tried punching it. I've only done die cutting and I die cut it on the fuzzy side. So
Okay.
I don't really think it would cause any issues. I have one kind of raggedy punch. I
I
probably
think
should
we all do. I have one too. That's a
just
raggedy punch.
just one. All right, this one's super cute. So this is the snacks one.
Oh.
And so the kitty one, I wanted to make it look like it was dangling like on a rope. So I've got that one just kind of hanging out there. And then the dog one, I just tied it on the bow. I tied a knot, put the little treat, and then tied a bow, the little dog bone.
Okay.
And this is relatively flat, and as you can tell, it actually ties really nice bows.
Mhm.
And I did that with not a lot of effort, which is really nice. So and then the last one, it's really cute. This is our action shot.
Oh.
So these two are definitely different. So you could pick out any dog you want to do this with. So it could be that before you cut your paper, you kind of look at your sheets and you say like, I want to cut this one out to do this. So I'm going to avoid it, by doing whatever. So I would say
Okay.
look at your sheets and decide, especially for this one and this one, like decide which
Mhm.
doggies, these three,
Mhm.
which doggies you want. And
Mhm.
then you can kind of work your other like kind of background pieces around it. Because this one has some of the background stripe. It's got the wood texture, which I put a piece in there for you.
Okay.
And then it's got a little ball, which is on one of the sheets. You can just cut it out. I just
Mhm.
fussy cut it. And then I did pop these guys up on dimensionals. And then the Woof Wag Love is from that same,
Oh.
it's from that same sheet.
Mm-hmm.
It's from here, but I just cut them
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Love
Yep.
it.
Yep. So, okay. So there's our doggy one.
Oh my
Yay.
gosh, you picked some really great spacing on the patterns. Really
They're,
like them.
yeah, they're really cute. I mean, this is really hard to make something not cute. Like this paper is so cute. And you've got
Yeah.
plenty left over that if you wanted to make one for a cat lover, you know, you've got plenty of cat stuff. I have a friend who made this really cute card,
Oh,
and she, you know, super cute way to, you know, feature the little dog. And even if you didn't do this part, it's still super cute.
it
You
is.
know,
Oh,
so yeah, so I thought this was cute. So just, this is easy. The DSP really makes this sweet. Like we were talking about the stamp set and dies because they're cute. But not as cute as you know, the stamp set's cute. I mean, it's got the cute little dog and the kitty, and this is sweet, like always in your heart. So sorry for your loss. I mean, pet loss cards, you know, sentiments are hard to come by.
hmm.
So I do like that. And then the dies, do I have the dies in here? Or did I hide them? I hid them somewhere else. Let me get them out. Let's see. Seaside, potted, brilliant. None of those. Let's see. Sometimes I lose things on my desk.
I do the same.
Oh, good. Here it is. Thank goodness. I'm so glad. It's easy, especially right now. I've got like retiring stuff in one pile, and I don't know. And then the dies so they have only 5 pieces in the dies, which is interesting. So they cut
Oh,
out the dogs and the cats, and then they have the little paw print. The paw print's cute, but I don't know. To me, like the paper's really great, you know, like,
it is.
and the die does cut like this cat. One of the cats lines up to a cat in the paper, and one of the dogs lines up to one of the dogs in the paper. And
Oh,
then one of the
sweet.
cats, yeah, and then one of the cats lines up to the cat here, and one of the dogs lines up to the dog here, like in the stamps. It's really interesting. Like it took me some time to like figure it out. I was like trying to align them all. Yeah, so I think, you know, make a decision about which pieces, like who you're going to cut out for this, and then I think that'll help you kind of start to construct the other pieces.
Oh gosh, I
Um,
can't wait. It looks so much fun. I kind of started already, but
good,
I
good,
will
good, good,
definitely work on this
good,
weekend.
good,
I
good.
love it.
Yeah, and let me know. I sent you a picture of like the final product. So then
I
the
saw
only
that.
other, yeah, so the only other thing you need to do then is like once you've got your pieces and you've like arranged them and you're like, all right, I'm really comfortable. I'm happy with, you know, you don't have to arrange them the way I did. You can move them around and do whatever you want. Then you're going to go ahead and glue them to the base piece.
Hmm.
So what I do with this is you can do one of two things. You can, if you think you're going to make a lot of these, you can actually make yourself like a border. So you can use
Oh,
you can create a mat back, right? And then you can just use that mat to like aim it, you know, and it'll
that's
give you like that perfect edge on the
that's a
side.
great idea.
Yeah. And so because they're about an inch, right? Like you want to put it in, it's about an inch on both sides. Now I know one person that I know does 3 3/4, but she leaves a lot more white space between hers.
Hmm.
I tend to probably keep mine a little bit tighter. So you could either do a 3 3/4 inch, which will end up kind of being spaced, you know, So you could do like a 3 3/4 inch mat and you cut it all around. And then you could even fold it, and stick it somewhere. Like, I mean, who
Mhm,
cares if it's folded,
mhm.
and then, or a 1 inch. And so the 3 3/4 will just give you probably a little bit more breathing room, between these guys, which
Alright.
is probably better, but,
Let's just
um,
work with it and see what looks good to the eye.
yeah. And then I would recommend, all of these pieces, I think you can glue down using like snail or, whatever normal adhesive. But
Mhm.
I will tell you, based on experience, when you're ready to glue these to here, use a really good, strong adhesive. So tear and
Okay.
tape, snail seal plus, um, wet glue even, if you want to have a little bit of wiggle, but it'll stick. It's something about the humidity. Like, I have a lot of these hung up and then like a piece will drop and I'm like, oh, then I have to like
Oh,
take the whole thing apart, glue it back together. I've just learned over the years, and actually one of them I'm going to rip apart and like re-glue it all down with like really strong adhesive,
uh-huh.
because it's driving me crazy. And the last thing you want is like a piece of art on your wall that's like, like the dog's like that,
Yes,
and you're like, oh,
exactly.
shoot, there goes Boo. So,
Good
who was
tips.
the,
Those are good tips.
yes, I've made a lot of these over the years. This one's stinking cute though. And,
It is.
I'm really happy with this one. So,
Well, I'm excited. I just can't wait until I get my photo of my little pup
I can't wait
and
to
have
see
it
it. So,
placed there. I will. I'll
yes.
send it to you. I will.
Please do. Please do. I can't wait to see it. And then I opened up the pillow to see what was in the pillow.
Oh, good.
And it is, oh, I'll stop recording. Oh, Stephanie said, please tape exhausting week. Oh, okay, Steph,
Oh, bless her heart.
we taped for you. Okay, let me show her how hers would lay out then before I start switching myself. Okay, so we're gonna pretend like that's a cat in the middle. Boo hates cats. Like,
Oh,
he is vehemently opposed to the cat. It is impressive how much he does not like the kitties.
that's interesting.
Yeah, he hears one on TV and he goes bananas.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I don't know if he was like a cat was mean to him, like, growing up or something, but he is not a fan of the kitties.
He just
So,
doesn't like the look of them, I guess.
oh, he does not like the sound. He does not like the look. So this is the kitty one. So for Steph, so she can see it. And very much the same, easy layout. I like this one. I put a piece of this in Stephanie's so that the cat can be like running up the hill, chasing the kitty. And on this one, I just said play, chase, love. And I think on the doggy one, what did I say on the doggy one? It's cute. Oh yes, woof, wag, love. Honestly, I cut out a bunch of the words and went with whichever ones looked better at that point, because that's a little bit harder to do. I did it with scissors. I think maybe cutting it with a paper trimmer might be easier,
Ooh,
honestly.
for me, it
Yeah.
would be scissors. I'm not good.
Yeah.
A paper cutter, it just shifts too much for
Oh my
me.
gosh. Yeah, I did the scissors and I just felt like every single one of them looked janky. I was like, ugh. And so I was actually going to go back and like try a set with a paper trimmer. I'm like, maybe I can have more luck.
Look
But,
at
and
these
then,
tiny scissors. These are the ones I will use to cut.
wow.
They're tiny. So,
My issue is I'm always like crooked. Like, I don't know. I couldn't get like a
oh,
straight line. I don't know. But
huh.
then I was afraid if I kept trimming, I would like, how like, how that is, right?
I
You
used
keep
to do that.
trimming.
Yes,
Hmm.
before my
And
paper
then
cutter.
yeah, and then you're like, "Oh, never mind. Okay, starting over." And then this one's just got so the backgrounds, these are actually pretty two significantly different pieces, right? Because this background's got
Mhm.
the fur flying.
Yes.
And then I did pop these up on dimensionals, and the ball is on a mini dimensional. I think the mouse is on a half a mini dimensional. Like, it's
Oh,
pretty tiny. That mouse is teeny, but super cute. And I did put their tails kind of off the grid a little because I wanted, like, we don't have to stay contained on the
Mhm.
square, so and then
I
this I
love
just
that.
glued behind. Yeah, and the other thing I was going to point out is like this one I did glue this heart down, and
Oh,
the
okay.
heart I actually did put a glue dot behind this one too. I didn't want it to
Okay.
go anywhere, so it's
Mhm.
glued down.
Okay, good tip.
And also I did the same thing with the milk bone, with the little
Okay,
bone. I put a
great.
glue dot behind it. Yeah, I really wanted those to stick. And then for Stephanie's, the only other difference is the pearls. They come, this is our old style pearls. We don't even make these anymore, but they come in a row. So you can just like cut how many you need and then, put a whole row on there.
I just love that. Maybe I put pearls on my dog because I have those pearls.
So there's nothing to say you can't. A friend designed the grumpy cat with the pearls, and I was like, "Oh, I'm stealing that for this project." Like,
That's awesome.
so I was so excited, and it was fun to put together, and also fun to consider like a cat one and a dog one.
Mhm.
So I've never made two samplers at one time. It was a little bit more work. I was like, oh, okay. But luckily, some of the design work was like, okay, well, if I do this for this, what do I want to do for this guy? And I did use the well-written dies to do these, and then the alpha die. The alpha die is carrying over.
Great.
I don't know if the well-written's not carrying over, I'm going to be really sad.
I would like to get that.
I use those dies a lot.
I've
And
noticed, and I like that.
yeah, they took away a lot of our dies. Like many of us were kind of gutted by the number. They're not, man, they're
Oh,
not,
okay.
they're
I'm gonna
not
add that
bringing
to my
those in.
list.
Yeah, those are really great. So this is the set. And so there was a coordinating stamp set that went with it. And I did not get the coordinating stamp set because I didn't care for it. But it had so many dies. It had so many words, and it had groom and bride and welcome, which welcome is a really like, I love welcome, like to the neighborhood, welcome to our team, welcome to campus, like welcome, hooray, wishes, sympathy, friend, baby, you, miss, love, thanks. This is such a great set. I'm
It
really
is.
sad. And I've used it a lot this year because of the fact that I'm mailing so many packets to people, and I don't know who has what when I mail a packet. So if I use these dies, then I know that like they'll be able to make a card because I sent, it said friend, or it said happy birthday, or so it's one way for me to get around, we're not allowed to send stamped images in the mail. It's against
Mhm.
policy. And
Mhm.
so it's like this class is perfect because it has words, but they're not stamped, and I'm not breaking any policies. And when you're making a card, it's the same way. Like you want to have some sentiment, but don't want to have to, I don't want to break any rules.
Mm.
So, in this case, I was trying to find, creative ways to do that. And I'm glad they're keeping these. These are actually really good letters. They're smaller than some of our alpha dies have been before. And so you can actually spell something and not have to have an extra supersized card. But because that was one of my issues before, I'd like spell something. I'm like, oh, well, now we're on to like, an A2 size card or something. Um, but yeah, these guys, I've used
I
them, and
like
I've used
that.
them even more lately, I think, because once they told us they were retiring, I was like, well, poopsers, I'm going to bust them out and use them some more. It
Oh,
might be a set I keep, like I love to BOGO a lot of my stuff, but this year I'm torn on a few items. Like
I understand.
I'm keeping they're retiring the dog punch.
Oh,
Yeah, but they're not retiring the cat punch, which is
what?
inherently not cool, man.
That's
Um,
very uncool.
so I think it's maybe because they're going to retire it next year, but maybe they're going to give us one more Halloween set that goes with the cat. Like,
Oh,
so I'm wondering if there's going to be like one more set. But yeah, the dog, I'm not giving up my dog punch. Like, no way, no how. Like, So yeah, there's just been a couple things this year that I'm like, well, I'm not giving that up. Like I've got my bucket of retiring stuff, and in order to make room
Uh-huh.
for new stuff, I shifted a few things off. I was like, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to retire you, but in
Uh-huh.
order to save you, it's like a survivor or something. I have to pick the ones I'm going to keep on the island. So, um, but yeah. So, okay. So let me know if you have any questions. Stephanie, you too. You're watching the recording. I'm going to stop the recording. So let me see if I can do that without like causing major drama here. Stop the recording. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. Okay.